Yeah.
There's no other way.
No
No,
other way. No
and,
other way.
and the only reason that the people that God chose to live according to his law, the only reason why they were able to live the way they did and still be connected to God was because they had to do things to cover their sin, to
Yeah.
acknowledge and show that, okay, I need to cover my sin.
Come on.
I can't do it. And this wasn't only once a year.
Right. And it didn't deal with the and that's interesting. Because that remember to say the consciousness of sin,
Yeah,
the blood and goat couldn't do away with.
yeah.
Christ's
It,
blood works on our conscience.
yeah,
Wow.
it's amazing. And that was just for a time. That was till the fullness of time.
Yes, sir.
That's the only reason why that was allowed. It was to show man how far from God's righteousness that we were,
Come on.
and to show that sin is alive within us.
Yeah,
Because without the law, sin does not exist.
exactly. It was dead. It was dead to it,
Now,
just like we thought it was dead.
and since Jesus fulfilled the law does not exist.
Come on.
When you're walking in the spirit, when you live in according to the two commandments,
Come on.
which fulfills them all. And you can't even do that outside of
Nope.
Christ.
Nope.
You
I'm
should
certain you
be
can.
one person on this earth that
Yeah.
loves God with all their heart, with all their soul, with all their mind,
Yeah.
all their strength. And I'll be pointing at Christ. Because outside of him, you can't do that.
You can't.
You can't do that.
Right.
That is a full-time responsibility. That means you self-preservation doesn't exist. Because you're sold out for God.
That, that's why, to me, it's funny when I was talking to the guy. He said, "I can see in your heart that you have that love for God." And he just wanted to be on the hard side, but he can see on my side, I'm on the passionate side. And I'm sitting there trying to tell him, but here to go to the meeting, is you can't live on this side. It don't work. I mean, matter of fact, who you holding accountable anyway? Because the only person you can hold accountable personally, unless they violated a law such as murder, the only person that you can, like an adulterer, you really can't enforce anything on that person. You can't impose nothing on that person.
No, yes, you can. You can stone them. You going to jail.
You go to jail. Hey, look, you gonna feel righteous going to jail. I did it.
So and I'm just trying to get some kind of understanding. What is his concept of Jesus Christ? I mean, what?
I think his concept was basically say he understands the mercy and grace of God. He went to seminary too. That's another thing too. So that's not easy for people. Some people go and I said this. Hey, brother, if you get this video, I'm just telling you. Sometimes seminary is a challenge.
Look, all I know is I know I was just talking to a brother last Friday to be exact, and he said he had his doctorate in theology, and I was like, man, I can't wait to talk to you. And one of the things was, okay, you go to seminary, you're dissecting religion.
Yeah, it's academics. Total, not spiritual at all. It's academic.
And it's like you're taking history
Hmm.
along with philosophy
Yeah,
and theory, and you're throwing all that together to try to get an understanding of something that is spiritual.
it's spiritual, right? You're
Yeah,
trying to do the intellectual,
yeah.
but it's
So
spiritual.
I asked the brother, I said, what do you believe? You know, and he couldn't answer that question without
What do you
any.
mean you couldn't answer that question?
Well, he couldn't because he didn't. That's a broad question.
He said it's a broad question.
Well, the way I asked it, I guess, in the way that the at the point that I asked it. So I asked him, so you're a Christian, right? You consider yourself? He says yes. I said, so then you believe in Jesus Christ and the redemptive work that he did. You believe that he died and on the third day he rose again and now he's seated at the right hand of God. Yes. You believe in the Trinity, Father, God, and Holy Spirit. Yes. I said, okay, cool. I said, how does learning all this stuff, how did you deal with it when it became contrary to what you believe? When
Mm,
they're when they're trying to teach you something that has nothing to do with your belief. And he said it was tough. He
yeah.
said, in fact, he said there was this one guy, he said he came into the class and he said, all y'all going to hell. I'm never coming back here again. And left and never came back.
That's it. And he
And I
can
was like,
understand why.
yeah, and I was like, and seeing that's my thought pattern,
Right.
and then I told him, I said, because it's even worse for the military
Uh-huh.
because to be clergy in the military, you have to learn all the religions,
Yeah. Witchcraft, Wicca,
all
all
of
that
it.
stuff. Yeah.
And so I said, I couldn't imagine dealing with that. And
Yeah.
so so then I began to just ask him other questions, about things, just to get his point of view, because he was a minister and stuff like that, he was, uh,
But he's still trying to carry the conversation with you intellectually because the conversation, because it's funny, I was sitting there, I even asked my buddy on this conversation, I asked him a question about the the Old Testament is meant for examples, right? There's a lot of things in the Old Testament are examples, correct?
yeah, yeah, they're types and shadows of the new.
It is, no question about it. So I asked him, and so I told him I wanted to even continue to do more these little small segment videos and stuff. Because here's the point.
Sorry about that.
Okay, a lot of people do not read the Bible. I think we know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I asked him a question. I've used an example one because I said this is not a pop quiz. I said I wanted to make sure that we got a frame of reference of where I'm coming from when I bring this character up, right? So I asked him, I said, Naaman, right? And I said, do you know Naaman, right? And because I'm going to bring something about Naaman, the Syrian general, and he couldn't recall it, and I was just saying, and so, you went to seminary, seem like you would know some of these key stories. And the purpose of the story was to show that just like receiving Christ as a gift, meaning you don't have to work for it.
Yeah.
You just have to receive it.
Work for it. It's a payment.
Yeah. And see, Naaman, you remember that? Naaman was peed off when the man said, go dip 7 times.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, sometimes is how Christians are, right? Some of them, somewhere along the lines, I'm not talking about the ones that come in that's really like, I need a savior. I'm talking about the ones that got in it, got deep, got mature, and all of a sudden now they felt like they earned it and have no patience for somebody who's slipping, you know?
You know, and another thing is, it's sad to say, but they got that first should be the best.
Yeah.
But Christ told the story that the first shall be the last.
Shall be last. Shall be last.
Just because you've been in it for a long time, your payment is equal to the person that come in at the end.
Come on, bro.
You're better than that person.
Come on.
Boiling all day.
All day.
Final minute, you accept the job.
Yeah.
You the same